And then Bruno Fernandes. What about the fans in Bilbao? 282 flights are expected to arrive in northern Spain today alone. That's a record for Bilbao Airport. Some fans going via Dublin, Berlin, Paris, Madrid, some via car, ferry, coaches via Bordeaux. We've seen, all hoping that arduous trek is going to be worth it. To say I was there. Well, John Watson is there.
Can we still make it?
It's not looking good, is it? I don't think it's going to happen, no. John Watson is there. He's been seeing what the vibe is this morning.
A very warm welcome to a beautifully sunny Bilbao. We're in one of the main squares here in the city, the Plaza Nuevo, and you can probably see some of the Manchester United and Tottenham fans settling in for the day ahead. It's looking a little quiet at the moment, but this place will be awash with red and white later as the Manchester United fans and Spurs fans get together here in the city. Thousands have already arrived, many more today ahead of the final here tonight. Well, let's get the perspective from United and Tottenham, shall we? Jay Mottershead and Chris Cowlin for Manchester United, Spurs, respectively. Gentlemen, lovely to see you. Just give us a sense, Jay, of how big this match is for Manchester United. We'll talk about who it's most important for, but from the United perspective, how important, how big is this game?
Well, it's massive. I mean, it's not just the trophy, which is obviously important, and from a fan perspective, that's what you want to see. You want to see your team lifting trophies. It's also the fact that it can give you Champions League football. We know that Manchester United are struggling. We're right near the bottom end of the table. We need players to come in. We need to attract players, and we need the money to do that. We keep getting told how there isn't much money, and if you get into the Champions League, that can generate revenue, can give you the opportunity and the ability to go out and get better players and attract better players as well. So, yes, winning a trophy is what you want to do, but also you can get into the Champions League, especially after the season we've had, which, let's be honest, other than Europe, it's been absolutely abysmal. Then that'd be a massive, massive plus for this club, and a massive plus for Ruben Amorim as well, because despite the fact he only came in, 7 months ago, whatever it was, he's already under a little bit of pressure because of the league form, and I think going into next season with a trophy under his belt, some new signings in Champions League football would be a massive boost for him.
It does seem astonishing that for Manchester United, their manager saying they may well need a change if they continue that kind of domestic form into next season. And for Tottenham, there's still question marks over Ange Postecoglou as well. How important would a trophy be for Tottenham, Chris?
It's so important that Ange delivers a trophy for Spurs this season, because we've been without one for so long. 17 years without a domestic trophy, 41 years without a European trophy. But Champions League football next season, when this season has been so poor, it would go down as one of our best seasons ever. And when you think about the managers that we've gone through, the win now managers, the great players that we have had, but we haven't quite got over that line, I feel like this is Tottenham's time now. And when you think about it, that Spurs have played United 3 times this season, we've won every single one of them, but this is the one that is really, really important. But a trophy would do wonders for this football club.
How different is this Tottenham team without the creative influences of James Maddison, Dejan Kulusevski, Lucas Bergvall as well? How difficult is that going to be for Tottenham?
Yeah, gutted for those players to miss such an important game. Of course, they've all travelled, to support the team as well. But every single player needs to step up their game, take their opportunity. Do they want to be remembered for finishing 17th in the Premier League table, or do they want to have their pictures on the wall, in that stadium, going down as heroes? So Spurs have got to give everything. Every player has got to be up for this game. And Spurs have been a very different team in the Europa League. I feel like that was a real turning point, that Frankfurt away game, and since then we've had some really good and professional performances. So Spurs have been a different animal in this competition.
It's amazing when you think about a final, you think about teams coming into it with form. Neither team is doing that. So are United worried about Tottenham at all? Is there any fear of the opposition that United are facing?
Yeah, you can't ignore the fact that Spurs have beaten us 3 times this season. But bizarrely, I think it'd be like the most Spurs thing ever to beat us 3 times in a season. No offence, bro. But it would, wouldn't it? Like, beat us 3 times in a season and get to a final and not beat us.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm kind of hoping. And I think Manchester United have got to go into this game like we have in every game in Europe. I know it's a Premier League opposition, but in Europe, similar to Spurs, we've been a different animal, and we're unbeaten in Europe. We've had some fantastic results and been able to sort of come back from the brink on a couple of occasions as well. So yeah, I think Manchester United have to respect Spurs. We have to acknowledge the fact that they have beaten us 3 times this season, but also remember that we have got some top class players. We are capable, of beating good teams on our day. We've beaten some very good teams this season, including even in the Premier League. We've had some good results despite some, a massive amount of bad ones. So yeah, I feel like with Manchester United as well, Spurs have been to finals, they've been there and thereabouts, but this is I think our 4th final in 3 years. We do have that little bit more pedigree when it comes to winning trophies, and hopefully that'll play a part tonight.
Yeah, it does. It does feel that United in a final is a different proposition. We talked about the players that Tottenham are missing. Obviously, Manchester United, a player they do have at their disposal, Bruno Fernandes, who really is the talisman, the leader in the team, the mainstay. And he could prove to be the difference maker, couldn't he?
Yeah, he could. I mean, Bruno Fernandes, I think he walks into any team in the world. I really do. If you look at what he brings, his assists, his chances he creates, the amount of ground he covers, the amount of games he plays, he's never injured. He's just a phenomenal player, and he's been like that ever since he arrived at Old Trafford, and he deserves to win more trophies. I feel sorry for him because he's the one player that should be winning titles in Champions Leagues, and I think he's won 2 trophies since he's been at the club, and that's not enough. But if you look at the team, you look how much we're struggling, he's one player that hasn't struggled. He's one player that can create goals, can score your goals, and I think if he brings his A game tonight, I think Spurs will be in trouble.
Great to speak to you both. Jay, Chris, thanks very much. Enjoy the game tonight if you can do, because we know what's at stake, we know the nerves at play, and we know that neither team is coming into this with a particularly solid foundation, are they? But I guess the domestic troubles, those domestic issues go out the window tonight. It is a standalone game, a one-off final. It's all about the silverware and the trophy and the lucrative Champions League offering of football next season that brings. And there's no doubt about it, it could prove a real boost for both sides, a real change in their fortunes were they to get over the line tonight in this Europa League final. The stage is set, and we can't wait.